Guitar magazines. Look at them.
Look at them.
Paper. Shiny. Tabs.
Shiny.
Slash. They've come such a long way. We've got Johnny Marr, we've got Slash, we've got Dave Gilmour.
That brother me.
I mean, apart from, if Noel Gallagher was on the front of them, it could literally be 1996 again,
Absolutely.
basically, and no different.
Mate, let me go back to my dad's
From
house.
the last start. Yeah, you should have brought them.
Stacks,
You say you've still got all the old guitar mags?
No, the first one I ever got would have been John Squire was on the front.
Yeah.
And it must have been August.
Second Coming?
It was the Seahorses.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so 97 kind of thing, yeah.
Love is the Law, what a tune.
It's a great song. It's quite tricky as well.
Used to be able to play it.
Same here.
Forgotten
it just goes. I can play Chaka Khan. I can't do that.
So I used to get Total Guitar, and I started getting it again just for a laugh, really.
Yeah, I too was Total Guitar. Back in the day. But now I'm guitarist.
Yeah, so guitarist has a lot more relevance for like higher level players, for sure.
Yeah.
This is a lot more entry level, and there will be a lot more like Slash and...
Yeah, I found it so great back in the day because you would have the classic track, Crossroads or, Be One Vision or something like that. And then you'd have like little like blues columns or something. Oh, there he is, look at him. He's 22 years old there, Clapton. 22 years old.
And you got tabs in there and stuff. Bon Jovi living on a prayer.
That's worked out, eh? But yeah, the old one, they'd have style files and guys, but there'd be a backing track there.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a funk, like Living Colour or something, and then there'd be a blues thing and something like that.
There's some backing tracks for how to play like
and that's what I like, the backing tracks. Now, of course, you can go on YouTube, but...
Yeah, there's loads, so are these still relevant?
Well, this is it, man. I mean, I think...
You get all that on YouTube these days, so what's the point in this?
Because you can get that all on YouTube, but it's a different thing. So I think YouTube is amazing in so many ways. I mean, we are on it right now, and you got that visual thing. But I do think a physical object where you can sit on the loo or the toilet and you can read about your favourite player and you're seeing the tab.
It's just stopping looking at screens, isn't it?
Well,
it doesn't matter what you do these days, and also the curatedness of it. So like who's this person? Is it Grace Cummings? Like I've
heard the name.
I've heard the name. Like there's a full article on it, and you can just keep up with people like that because they're releasing some new music, and then it's just a chance to learn. That is how I came across so many of my favourites. But back in the 90s or the early 2000s, like Enemy was a big one for me, like 2005. Q magazine as well. Q stopped being a thing altogether.
Of course it has.
I'm sure many of us have as well. I started subscribing to this one, and I was like, this is, and I'm sure I will do for many others as well. But it fulfills a different need to checking YouTube. It doesn't replace anything. I'm not particularly looking at the tabs or learning any songs from these or anything. It's more the curated nature. It's like John Peel, isn't it? You know, you listen to a John Peel radio show to hear what albums he would, having listened to as much as he had, you know, what would he pick out for other people to listen to? And I try and do a similar thing on my YouTube channel, but it doesn't work for new music. It's got to be a lot more... there's so many of the big songs that people want to learn, like they're the ones that I need to focus on with what I put out. But I see so much of this other stuff live, and it's a shame not to know more about them before the gig. I'm really bad at getting to know a band really well after I've seen them live, and I was like, I love them. Because it only connects with you once you've seen them live. And there's a bit of that with the paper.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mentioned earlier, like the first time I heard Stevie Ray Vaughan was through Total Guitar. And they had a snippet of Scatterbutton from live at Carnegie Hall. And so, they would do a lot of new music. I remember you'd be able to send in your own demos and they would play their favourite. I haven't read Total Guitar in, knocking 20 years.
This is a guide that's always helpful for a lot of people, like how to read your tab and stuff like that. But
I do think as well, if you're starting out, again, if you haven't got a guitar in your hand and you're looking at the tab, it can kind of help visualise the guitar neck a little bit.
100%.
But if you're seeing like 11 on the 4th string and then 9 on the 2nd string and then back to, you can picture it in your head, then come back to it and, bada bing. And, you start understanding what PM means, palm mute.
Yeah, sure.
And all these little things. What you the show must go on.
Yeah, man.
There we go.
I've got Nova Twins here, who are a relatively new band, and seen them live a couple of times. They're heavy,
Really,
heavy as hell. Love to do like Nova Twins type songs, but I genuinely kind of don't feel like I can on my YouTube, to be honest. I kind of think I've got to keep it a bit more mainstream, but I'm going to see them live, absolutely. And yeah, doing videos with you is an excuse to like talk more about wider stuff like this. But you said you got a guitarist?
Well, yeah, so for me, there was 3 magazines, weren't there, in the UK? Total Guitar, Guitarist, and Guitar Techniques.
Yeah.
So I remember after a while, like, I remember getting Guitarist when I was a kid, but not liking it. Because it was more reviews and interviews, and I wanted to play him back then.
Yes.
And I remember then getting Guitar Techniques, and then I went to ACM, and a lot of the tutors were there. So yeah, Guthrie, Govan, doing stuff, Jamie Humphreys, Dave Kilminster, the much missed Eric Roach, Pete Callard, or Phil Hilborn. They would all do Guitar Techniques, and that was more, not necessarily songs, it was more, they would get like Paul Gilbert in and do a masterclass in the magazine. Of course. And I really enjoyed Guitar Techniques from like 16 to like 20, 21 when I was getting my chops up. And now I've become a grown-up and I really like Guitarist magazine because I like reading interviews and, you know, just geeking out and stuff. And for my birthday last year, Laura, my wife, she got me a year subscription to Guitarist magazine. And now it's great because once a month I see it come from like,
something new,
I'm going to have a 45-minute sit on the loo, or sorry, restroom, toilet, depends on the country you're in. And, you know, it's like, my legs are asleep now, I better get up.
But yeah, it's it just gets you more in that world.
Yeah.
I think anything that helps that is a good thing. That curation is a good thing. Throwing things in front of you that you wouldn't necessarily have found through searching, or the algorithm wouldn't have thrown up for you, because we don't have a say in what's put in front of us, especially not on Instagram and stuff. It literally comes up for you, and it can be hard to even find. Oh, who was that person yesterday? Like, can't remember because it just popped up and then it's gone.
Yeah. Well, it's pictures as well, because they like, especially
that's
now.
part of it. It's like the album cover thing,
the
right?
photography. I followed I've forgotten her name now. It's a lady. She does a lot of photography for Guitarist magazine. I will find the name and I will tell you then.
Scarlett Page is fantastic.
She's and the pictures she does are so great. And it's like, unless, you know, obviously you can get them on Instagram, but there's something about seeing it.
Well, bigger for one. This had a few. All of these came with big posters and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely.
And I know that's the sort of thing I had on my wall as a 14-year-old. You know.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm going to hunt out this because I want to give her a shout out. Because how do I see recent followers? Oh, here we go. Elena Jane. And she does
on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah. And she does all
put a screenshot. Oh, they look fantastic.
They're great,
we'll
right?
Put a screenshot up.
Yeah, we'll do some screenshot. Yeah, actually, you know what? So don't forget. Let's do it now. Again, I don't know her. This is not an ad.
Yeah.
This is genuine, just shout out.
Just something you follow, yeah.
So obviously, on Instagram, it's great to see. But I got this in the magazine, what just came out, and it's incredible, her photography, you know. So I do think, you know, when you get a magazine like that and you're seeing it up close, like, you know, your nose is on the paper.
Well, you saw the Eric Clapton Blackie guitar when you were in America, weren't you?
I did.
And you were like, your comment on your reel was like, I've seen so many photos of this one, and I just always thought it looked incredible. And that's from this sort of thing, isn't it? That's where...
Well, yeah, that's kind of where I'd actually contradict myself, because
go on.
They have Blackie there, and I'll show you in a minute. I've got the 335. And I have studied both those guitars, so again, like staring at them. And then when I saw the Blackie, kind of it just looked so much older. You know, like the check-in is just, the paint looks like it's about to come off. But that kind of shows up in pictures anyway. But with the 335, it's almost pink, where the red's faded so much.
Wow, okay.
Very, very thin. But what shocked me was the fingerboard. It looks brand new. So obviously where he got it refretted, they would have planed the fingerboard so much. So it looked almost like Paro, is it Paro Ferro? The cheaper rosewood.
Wow.
Not even rosewood, but you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my goodness, you don't get that necessarily. Well, certainly the pictures I've seen of it.
Because they're always edited, right?
Like the fingerboard is really like brown. You think of it not ebony or anything, but it was just.
Well, the guitar, it's so good.
It's just, you know, and there's Blackie, obviously. But yeah, no, it just blew my mind. I was like, wow, it was not as red as I thought it was going to be. You've been to Guitar Centre, haven't you, in Sunset?
No, I haven't.
Have you not been there?
No, I need to.
Oh, when you next go, do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Guitar Centre isn't as great as I remembered it now, but they got that there.
Guitar stores are all changed a bit, and a lot can be struggling. Innit?
Yeah, well, I remember I went to Guitar Centre probably last in like 2016, and they had the vintage bit at the back, and they had like a whole wall of like 63 Strats and 59 Les Paul Juniors and things like that. And I was like, I was scared. I went straight in there, and it was just custom shop with a handful of like a late 60s telly was there and that, but nothing like it was before. I was like, oh. Especially coming from the NAMM shows, I was like, oh.
Seeing some cool stuff, you're not going to see it.
I'm not bothered about seeing a custom shop Strat.
Yeah, well, of course, seen them all.
So, it's a shame, really. But yeah, seeing Blackie up close was
absolutely.
Amazing.
And I do think that range, you've seen, Eric Clapton in a guitar magazine, probably every issue somewhere.
Yeah.
But you'll also see a lot of others that you might not have. Yeah. And I really believe in, if it's not a guitar magazine, something like that. Because I don't know anyone who like just follows like either one person or one thing and then gets to like a really high level. You have to be a mix of a whole load of different stuff. And it's almost like the wider the influence, if you can put it into your playing, the better you are, or you can put it into what you do, right?
Oh, of course, absolutely. I mean, well, Eric's Eric, isn't he? That's the other thing now, With the magazine, I remember having a Christmas special on Clapton, and it was just round about the time he did his first auction, so when he sold Brownie.
Oh, yeah, sold
so that's when I would study these pictures, and I had a good article on Blackie itself, and that's why when I saw Blackie in person, I'd study those pictures so much in the magazine. I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of how I thought it was going to be, just a bit more worn, obviously I knew it was knackered anyway. I hope magazines do stick around. If I was 14 years old now, would I buy a guitar magazine? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Maybe not.
Our age and people above, they still like magazines. So I do worry, I think, over the next, not even 20 years, 10 years.
Yeah, and some have it, say Q magazine used to love,
Q's
gone,
NME's gone.
NME's still around online.
Online, yeah, but not in a physical form.
And again, to make them relevant for music, they also include film. They include other stuff as well. And NME does online.
Yeah.
And a lot do. I've seen that happen a lot. If a lot of them do go away, they'll be replaced in some form.
Yeah, I mean, you still got like Guitar World, Guitar Player, the American ones. They're still knocking around, and it's great that Toe Guitar and Guitar Techniques and guitarists are still going strong. Hopefully they're going strong. If you go down the whole world of obviously advertising, they make that's how they're getting their money from companies advertising in them. But if to take
it's a paid thing a lot.
But I mean, if a company was to go to a magazine and pay, 10 grand to be featured, or they can go to a guy or girl on YouTube and pay £300 to be featured. Yeah. And it's a bit more evergreen.
Does the model work?
Yeah, like YouTube, it's always there. I know the algorithm pokes people in different ways, but if you search X amplifier or X pedal, you're going to get it. And in a magazine, it might be, okay, next month kind of thing, So, yeah, I hope it can find a way of sticking around, because... I'm
sure it will in some form, and I don't think the physicals... In fact, these things might be cyclical, a bit like vinyl kind of has come back in a big way.
Yeah.
But seeing them more as like vinyl became big again because it's kind of like merch, isn't it?
Yeah.
You buy vinyl and a T-shirt rather than buying a vinyl to be the way you listen to it. But these things can coexist, man. They're good. I believe in it. I got them, and it's been fun to read about bands that I didn't realise.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, especially in that regard, it's like
because otherwise you live too much in the Spotify world where it's like if you like this, you'll also like this, and it's very same. It's very. All in the same corner. It's like, I want a variety.
Telling you what to like, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I want people telling me, or making suggestions like your mates would.
Yeah, the computers are taking over, man. No one learned from Terminator 2.
They didn't, it's true. Didn't learn the warning signs.
It's like, let's see what happens. God almighty.
Yeah, the AI thing. Have you seen any of that chat?
Yeah, I've been talking a lot about that recently. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. There's a lot of music being written on it.
Well, I saw on
What
TikTok
songs?
people have like done like a Paul McCartney, John Lennon duet on Imagine,
Yeah.
and it's just what my mate was telling me this, that they took the Weekend, his voice, and they wrote lyrics and showed AI. I don't know the whole tech of it, but his last song, and they wrote new lyrics and put a new beat to it.
Wow.
But got the Weeknd's voice, and it was a brand new song with the Weeknd's voice, but this person wrote it.
Wow, yeah.
So it's like you're going to get to the point where it'll be new Michael Jackson music.
Yeah.
You know, the AI will know his voice.
Yeah.
You write a song.
Give him something to do. Will it be...
It's crazy.
Will it be listenable even?
Well,
I don't know.
It's what my mate was saying. It was quite good, this Weekend thing, you know. So it's getting a bit scary, I think. You know, it's almost like songwriters are becoming
well, they've been told to be so much like a machine to get on the radio.
Yeah. But the one thing, what will always win is live playing. When you see someone physically in front of you, playing the guitar, playing drums, singing live in front of you, no computer.
So it's more kinetic. So a fascinating one is the ABBA one, where it's just literally a screen with ABBA DH, right? But they insist on having a live band play.
Oh, really?
So it's actually live backing.
Good.
Recorded vocals, but live backing.
So playing to a
because
click,
it just hits different.
Mm-hmm.
And you do, it's like the mix of a live band is loads different than if it was recorded in a studio, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It just connects a lot, and it's just a lot more visceral. And it's even like with theatre shows, even though you don't see the band or they've often got one, and you can tell there's just something about the dynamics or something about what you expect it to sound like in the room. It does, because they are there, rather than a pre-recorded one which can sound maybe more perfect. But that's not what we actually want. Sure. We want kinetic energy in the room.
Absolutely,
it's electric seeing a live band, and that's how they got it, even though it was a screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there is always a hybrid model is the answer, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But let us know what you think. Do you still buy guitar magazines?
Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube. I forgot. We were just shy.
Ring that bell.